Hi fam, this is Finnegan again. Day 77. Day 77 is about becoming expert on your subject matter. Becoming expert on my subject matter. I'm actually confused on who's my audience going to be, and because it's like a buffet where you want to try all of them, right? You want access, and you want to speak to all of the people regarding with your niche. Or maybe the problem is my niche. So I come up with a solution of who's gonna be my target audience, because I'm overthinking it again. So my solution was this: how about me speaking to myself? So basically my audience is going to be myself, let's say 5 years ago, or when I was a teenager as well. That would be a great range. For example, it will be like 16 to 21 years old, let's say. Yeah, let's say that 26 or 16 to 25 or something like that. So if my audience is going to be like that, I really have to figure out what I struggle with, what kind of solution I could provide through my speaking skills and speaking contents that I'm gonna come up with. Because the only expert for myself is myself, right? So I just come up with that solution earlier this morning, I believe, or this afternoon. I was just woken up and thinking about that, and it really bothers me a lot. And I understand now that overthinking means that I really care, because I really do care about what I'm gonna say, how I'm gonna say it, and how am I going to connect to my audiences in a way that I won't offend them, but instead care for them genuinely. But sometimes you're gonna call them with their shit, right? You're gonna have to call them with that, because you are you are you experienced it. You experience whining about things, trying to make excuses and rationalizing your laziness, right? So that's one of the things that I've experienced with, and was able to pass through that. And the big thing that makes me uncover it, is because when I was trying to get fit, because I'm really inconsistent about my workouts, and I don't really know any better. But then I realized that, okay, emotion doesn't matter, facts is what's really important with me trying to better myself. Though if you're gonna interact with other people, you have to have the skills of connecting with them and having the relationships. So it's really complicated if you're gonna ask me about coaching, life coaching, coaching in general, fitness coach, mindset coach, and all those things. And I really thought that I have to get it together, like completely, in order for me to be an effective one, to be credible as being in my career. So I figured that, okay, there are a lot of coaches who struggles the same thing, and also CEO. I've I've, I've read in the book where it explained, or maybe it's a conference. Yes, that's it's a conference where I'm listening to conference, and there's this one. It's actually a coaching session training, and there's this guinea pig, what we could say guinea pig, where she she will be the client, and my mentor, which Valerie Burton, is the coach. So she was a CEO before. She was a CEO, former CEO of a huge company. I forget what that was, but she was struggling with the things that are not important in her garage. So let me say it again. It's a bunch of things that she doesn't really need was stored in her garage, and she wants to work on it. Get out of she wants to get out of the she wants to clean it up, get rid of the things that she doesn't really need it, and she wants to be able to do that. And so the coaching style of Valerie Burton, my mentor, is she's asking questions, probing. Why is it important? Why cleaning your garage is important to you, and something like that. Then she probes and she answers. At first, she doesn't want to come up with the real answer, but eventually, through prying and probing and asking a lot of questions, right questions as well, she shared that the reason why she doesn't really want to get rid of the things that stored in her garage is that, I believe that's her mom who died like a year ago. And so what happened was, there's a core reason and a root cause of her struggling with getting rid of the things, because that's the only memories that she have with her mom. The things that the notes, the pictures, the things that her mom uses before, was stored in the garage. And so we she was able my mentor was able to unpack and cover the core reason why she's struggling with that. And then it doesn't gonna be solved in a snap, but the client, the guinea pig, at that time, was able to have a breakthrough of an understanding of why she's struggling with it, because she was still hurt. She's still mourning about her mom. And so, being able to know that, with me being able to know and becoming aware that a person who are who is in a in a huge leadership position before struggle with those kinds of things. I don't know if I butchered the story. I don't really care. But the point that I'm making is, the reason why I'm telling you this is that everyone struggles with the same thing. It's just in a different pictures. It's covered or dressed as a different kind of struggles, but it's all the same thing. It's basically imposter syndrome, where we thought that we are not capable yet, we are not credible yet, we are not enough yet on what we're trying to do with our lives. But the fact that you're gonna be able to work on the things that you really want, like for example with me, in my case, I'm trying my best to work on my speaking skills, to be able to speak effectively to other people. But with the credibility, I'm still struggling with that. But the with me doing the work itself is already enough for me to be credible, because I am doing something better. I'm catching up with what I said I would be. And I remember my mentor John Maxwell, he said that there are two types of hypocrisy. There's a good hypocrisy and bad hypocrisy. Good hypocrisy is that you said that you're gonna be like this, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be the best speaker you could possibly be, but after a year you're not yet there, but you are catching up, you are growing step by step. And the bad hypocrisy is you care much about, you look good, you look perfect, but deep inside you are struggling with that. So you don't think, you don't think that you really are, you really are good enough. And I believe that's a bad hypocrisy. And I believe him. I believe what he said. I agree with it, that we should strive for good hypocrisy, where we are catching up with what we said, instead of care more about what we look. And that's my struggle the past couple of months or years now, that I care more about how I look instead of how I am becoming. And what I've realized, comparing myself for a couple of years to 5 years from 5 years before from now, I made a huge growth. And I am still growing, I am still becoming that. There are a lot of times where I'm doubting myself and hesitant, but I'm catching up about what I said I am, and I will become. So becoming an expert for myself is just with me trying to coach myself on the things that I struggle with. And then after I work on that, I can now be able to transfer that knowledge and wisdom and lessons that I gathered from my struggles and share that to you. So basically, that's how it works. Telling the story of those struggles and the solutions that I've come up with that are effective, and then share it with you. And I guess that's what I'm gonna do in the future, preferably next year. I'm starting to do that. and I'm gonna really work on it. So I'd say bye for now. I'm gonna upload this, so have a good one.